If you're longing for a winter vacation to somewhere warm, you're not the only one. Mice, stink bugs, crickets, all are too.
Yeah, but they're not going to Florida or the Caribbean. They're coming inside your house.
That's right.
It's like, look it over there. There's Julio's house. Let's go.
They know where it's at.
I've got mice.
So do
I've got mice. I caught 3.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Recently.
You caught them with your hand?
Yeah, no. Actually, my cat. I think we did this on the show. I was all excited. My lazy cat caught a mouse.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. It was. I was proud of him.
Yeah.
Tom. You go, Tom. You go, Tom. Now, how about the 3 that I just caught? Anyway, so it's field mice that they come into your house, and they usually go into a basement or they go into like a garage sometimes, but they really want to get inside where it's warm. So you'll have field mice that are coming in, and all of a sudden, guess what? You have mice, and some people tolerate it, but I don't know. There's repellents that you can use, and I found it interesting that we have, if you're on YouTube, well, they'll point at the Mouse Magic. Mouse Magic, it's a repellent that they're little almost little pouches of repellent so that it chases them away. So if you have mice that are eating holes in your bread or doing something in your bread drawer or something where in one particular spot, you can use this and it will chase them somewhere else. It's not going to kill them. It's not going to basically stop them from doing some destruction somewhere else, but it's a nice way of doing it. I talked to someone and they use it in their classic cars.
Oh yeah.
They have their classic cars in their garage, and they put it in by the motor and in by the upholstery so that it chases them away. So it works very well. And it's by scent, like it triggers like an escape kind of thing, and it's the same thing as the Repels All by Bonide spray. This works the same exact way, that it induces this fear that they're going to be eaten. So, but, all right, nice. You're chasing your mice to somewhere else. I don't mind so much if we're chasing our mice to our neighbor's house, or our deer to our neighbor's house, or so on and so forth, chipmunks or anything else outside. But when they're in the house, you got to decide. I mean, it's the mouse or your bread. I don't like poison. Poison. Ugh. Because what happens, Have you ever used poison in the house for mice or anything?
No, I haven't.
No? The mice end up dying between the walls, and all of a sudden you come into your house. It's like,
what happened?
Am I just smelling my house for the first time? I have a funny story. I went on a trip with somebody. Do you remember Holly that used to work for us?
Yeah.
Holly Naradka. Holly and I were out, and we went to the short course, florist short course, and we're just about to land in Philly, and she turns to me and says, "This is when you find out if your house smells."
Is that what she said?
I thought that was the funniest thing, and I still do. I laugh every time I think about it. But that's going to be the thing that you have with your house. Well, all of a sudden you got mouse or mice, multiple, in between your walls, and all of a sudden it stinks. It stinks. And no matter how much you burn that scented candle, that mix of that scented candle in dead mouse carcass is not going to be good. Yeah. So that's my theory on using poisons. Okay, yeah, they work, but they may not be great. Plus, if you have kids or pets around, you don't want that. You don't want that. I personally, now I don't care what you think about me, I use glue traps. So I put a teaspoon of peanut butter on a glue trap.
Okay.
and I have it sealed in either a cardboard box or I've taken those, you get those boxes from the Chinese place where it's plastic and can seal the lid. I put a little hole in the side. I put it in there, so it's safe from the animals, and it's safe from any kids, and that they find their way in to eat that peanut butter. They love peanut butter. That is where I caught my 3 mice
in that little
in that thing. Yeah, and I'm hoping there are no more, but I'm afraid. If you see one, there's probably 10. So glue traps for me are something, it's when you find a hole in your bread for the 3rd time. It's like, all right, it's war.
That's it.
It's war. So I don't care if you get stuck.
You skipped your breakfast and lunch and everything else.
Well, I mean, I have an issue. I don't like squirrels.
Yeah.
They do damage. They do damage. And the thing is, if they ate the entire loaf of bread, I wouldn't mind, but it just skeeves you out from not wanting to eat bread ever again because you have this hole, and then you start thinking about where the bread is made, and wonder if they have mice issues. Anyway, it's going a little too far. All right, so what about like larger animals, like squirrels and raccoons? So have a heart traps. You set the trap so that it's basically, I call them wings, but the outside doors are open. There's a trip that's in the center, and that you put the bait there. And when it meanders inside the trap and it steps on the trip, the door's shut and it's stuck in the have a heart trap. Now what? What are you going to do with it?
Take it away.
You put it in the back of the car or the back of the truck, and you take it for a long ride somewhere else.
We're talking long.
Yeah, long ride.
Because they're smart.
They are. They are. So you take it for a long ride to be relocated. So if, a park, but I'm going to have some forest ranger tell me that you're not supposed to do that, but somewhere else where their kind lives. I hate squirrels because they can do some major damage. Raccoons too. Plus, some of them have rabies.
Yeah, gotta watch.
I had, as a kid growing up. All right, I was on the top floor. Like I had 3 siblings, and I had the top floor bedroom, which was right next to the attic.
Oh, gosh.
We had raccoons in the attic. When you're a kid and you hear a raccoon scratch at the door and you open the door and you see all these like lights glaring at you that are their eyes, you get a thing for not liking raccoons. So have a heart is the way to go and the way to get rid of them. But again, no poisons stink up the whole house. And the other thing is, like, I have found ladybugs crawling around in my house.
Yeah.
They're looking for, I guess, a summer recluse.
Yeah.
But most of them are dying and they're dropping to the ground. Like, I don't know if you've ever opened a curtain and all of a sudden a stink bug falls out.
Yeah, that's happened.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. They're just going basically to die after their life cycle is over. They're finding a warm place to retire. And it's kind of like when you go to Florida.
That's right.
Same thing's
Same
happening.
thing.
People are going there to retire and expire. But again, stink bugs, all those types of insects that you're finding. Even crickets. I know that you had a cricket issue. It would drive you crazy.
Drive you nuts. You can't sleep.
Right. So crickets, there are the traps, the glue traps actually work for crickets too. Now, I don't think they go to peanut butter, but it actually does work for the crickets. And if they're in your garage and someplace safe, I recommend using the Bio Advance, a complete insect control. Incredible product, has a 12-month. I think we've all used it. Aaron, me, and Julio have used it, and it is just works amazing. Even on things that you wouldn't even think of, like house flies and things like that during the summertime, where it just stays there. And if they walk across it, it just, they're done. They're done. And that you create like a barrier, especially if they're sneaking under like the garage. But it's getting pretty cold, so you probably have them already. So that's the one insecticide that I would recommend above all else for indoor and outdoor use for a spray. And again, that's the BioAdvance Complete Insect Control. BioAdvance Complete Insect Control. And again, it's a spray. You get one of those trigger like Windex bottles, sprayers, and you spray with that. It's already pre-mixed. That's the other part I like about it. So, anything to add, Julian?
No, I'm feeling for you about the mice.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I'm not home as much as I used to be.
Right. Quiet in there.
Breaker, my yellow lab is gone. He's gone, and my 2 cats are just too lazy to go out.
You've been feeding them too much.
Well, I guess. I mean, again, Tom. I think he thought he had a playmate to play with besides, Bobby. But anyway, so we're taking him down. We're taking him down. So, yeah. Anybody who's had to deal with mice has dealt with something like this. I mean,
it's a pain.
Danielle was over.
Oh, yeah.
She opened the drawer. No. And a mouse jumped out, and she closed the drawer, and she trapped the mouse in the drawer. And it's like, yeah,
right.
Yeah, I took care of it.
Yeah,
yeah, I took care of it. It's a man thing.
Yeah, I know.
I kill mouse. Yeah. So anyway,
Mises to pieces.
Yeah, mises to pieces. It was. So again, glue traps. They're nasty, but
they work.
They work, and they die in the glue trap. They don't die in the walls of the insulation. And then you've had. Everyone knows that you had.
Nobody comes to your home anymore.
That's right. All right. We're going to end it right there.